Greetings, dear souls, and welcome to Stillness Unfolded. I'm honored you've stepped into this sacred space with me today, where the whispers of peace unfold in the quiet. Picture this: you sit in stillness, yet a shadow lingers over your soul, elusive, silent, unnamed. What if I told you it's not fate dimming your light, but 6 quiet traps you've walked into without knowing? Traps so subtle they shade your very essence, waiting for you to see them. In this journey, we'll peer into these hidden snares, 6 habits that cloak your radiance like mist over a flame. From the neglect that dulls your temple to the voice that storms your calm, the threads that bind you to yesterday, the complaints that weigh your heart, the slump that hides your presence, and the whispers of your body you've ignored, we'll name them all. But here's the hook that might catch your breath: these aren't mere faults to mend. Each trap hides a key, a secret spark to unlock your soul's brilliance today. What if the shade you feel is the doorway to a light you've yet to claim? This video is a treasure chest of wisdom, so stay with me to the end. Every step reveals a thread to free your spirit. If this stirs you, please leave a like and subscribe to Stillness Unfolded. Your support lights our path. Drop a comment below what shades your soul. Let's unravel it together and weave more stillness into this world. Now, take a breath, lean in, and let's lift the veil on these quiet traps to find the radiance beneath. 1. Letting self-care slip, the mirror of the mind. In the vast garden of Buddhist wisdom, the body is not a mere shadow of the spirit, it is a sacred lotus, cradling the mind's boundless light. The Buddha taught, to keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear. Yet how often do we let this lotus wither? Skipping a bath, letting hair twist into wild knots, or forsaking grooming's quiet rites may seem trivial. But beneath this neglect lurks a deeper fracture, a drift from the present, a splinter in mindfulness mirror. I recall Venerable Ananda, a monk whose life was a tapestry of stillness. His heart pulsed with the truth of impermanence, yet his robes frayed into rags, his beard a snarled thicket. One dawn, a young novice, voice trembling with awe, dared to ask, "Venerable, your wisdom is a beacon, why let its glow fade in a tattered shell?" Ananda paused, then chuckled softly. "Perhaps I've forgotten this body is my practice too," he mused. Later, he confessed a startling truth: even those who revered his serenity had begun to shun him, unsettled by his disarray. From that day, he stitched his robes, trimmed his beard not for pride, but to honor the fragile life he bore. In my decades along this path, I've seen neglect dim more than our outer form. Energy wanes like a flame in a storm, confidence ebbs, and the dance of body and mind stumbles. Yet mindfulness is the balm that restores. Washing your face turns sacred, combing your hair a silent hymn, clean clothes a nod to the now. These aren't tasks, they are love's tender threads, weaving us back to ourselves. Imagine standing before the mirror, not just glimpsing a face, but meeting a soul worthy of care, a light aching to blaze. The first habit dimming your radiance isn't the dust on your skin, it's the kindness you've withheld from yourself. Try this now: hold your toothbrush like a delicate flower slowly, with full awareness, and feel the bristles awaken your senses. Notice how your spirit stirs. For tending this temple rekindles the mind's hidden glow. What small care have you let slip? Share it right now in the comments. One toy when you'll reclaim today. I'll pick a reply to weave into our next video, so let's spark this journey together. 2. Raising your voice, the echo of unseen tension. The Buddha's voice flowed like a river of peace, for he knew speech mirrors the heart. Better than 1,000 hollow words, he taught, is one word that brings peace. In the Noble Eightfold Path, right speech teaches us more than truth. It's speech that heals, a balm for the soul. A single shout can shatter a day's serenity, while a whisper can mend what's broken. Yet as years etch their marks upon us, subtle shifts, a fading ear, a restless mind turn our words into storms we never meant to unleash. Speaking too loudly isn't mere sound, it's the echo of unrest, a sign we've wandered from stillness. I once knew Maya, an elder whose laughter once lit every room like dawn's first rays. Her joy was a melody, weaving hearts together. But as her hearing dimmed with age, her voice swelled once a light, it now thundered, drowning the tender whispers of love around her. She didn't notice the growing silence until one evening, her son knelt beside her, eyes glistening, and murmured, "Mother, your words are a treasure, let them fall like petals, not stones." Her breath caught, a storm stilled. From then, she listened more than she spoke, her voice softening to a breeze. In that quiet, she heard not just others, but the heartbeat of her own soul. In my years of practice, I've seen this unfold. A loud voice often cloaks a silent fear of fading, of being lost in the wind. Yet the Buddha's path of mindful speech lights a gentler way. Right speech bids us speak with purpose, listen with depth, true presence hums, steady and deep, not roaring to be heard. When we yell, we scatter the world. When we soften, we draw it near. The second habit, dimming your light, isn't the noise, it's the peace you've let slip through your fingers. Try this. Before your next word, pause. Feel your breath rise and fall, lower your tone, let your voice glide like water over smooth stones. Conversations will bloom less strain, more grace. Today, speak one sentence gently to someone, a friend, a stranger, and notice how it lands. Share that feeling below. I am curious to know how it shifts your day. For when we weave right speech into our words, we don't just speak, we heal ourselves and those who hear us. 3. Clinging to worn threads, the weight of yesterday. The Buddha's robes were a testament to letting go, simple, patched, yet pristine. Clothes do not chain us to value, but they hum our intentions. Wearing faded or ill-fitting garments is like dragging yesterday's shadow, a burden we can set free. The Buddha taught that true release isn't abandonment, it's choosing what nurtures the present, shedding what no longer breathes life into our now. I recall Kavi, a tailor nestled in a mountain village, whose youth gleamed in crisp tunics, each stitch a note of pride. As age crept in, he clung to old shirts stretched thin, faded to ghosts of their past, muttering, "These still serve." Yet in them, his shoulders slumped, his spirit flickered like a lantern starved of oil. One day, I offered him a robe, clean, well cut, unweighed by years. He slipped it on, stood taller, his eyes igniting as if time had unraveled. Then came the surprise. A child from the village, wide-eyed, exclaimed, "Grandfather, you look like you've stepped from an ancient tale." Kavi froze, then laughed, a sound I hadn't heard in years. "It's not the cloth," he said, "but the life it wakes in me. In my heart, clothes are a silent ode to this moment." Buddhism whispers of detachment, yes, but not neglect. A threadbare shirt isn't freedom, it's a tether to what was, a weight on the soul. Choose what fits you today, what stirs your spirit, not for others' eyes, but for your own breath. It's not about grandeur, it's about standing unshackled in the now. Imagine this: you step outside in a garment that makes you love the day, simple, soft, alive. How much is that feeling worth? A coin? A kingdom? Or perhaps the quiet joy of being fully here? Look to your wardrobe. What lingers from habit, not heart? Release it. Slip into something that feels like you, unfaded, unforced, true. The change isn't just in the glass, it's in your soul's gentle sway. The third habit, dimming your light, isn't the fabric, it's the past you've stitched to your skin. For when we dress with mindfulness, we don't just wear cloth, we wear our grace, our presence, our freedom. What's one piece you've held too long? Tell me in the comments. Let's cast it off together and step lighter into tomorrow. 4. Dwelling in complaint, the shadow of ungratefulness. Did you know that every complaint turns into a stone weighing down your soul? Life is suffering, the Buddha proclaimed, yet he carved a path through the storm. Complaining creeps into us with a grumble at the rain's patter, a sigh at time's relentless dance. It's a shadow that cloaks our light, draping joy in a shroud of gray. But suffering, the Buddha taught, lies not in the world's turning, it dwells in eyes that seek only darkness, blind to the embers of light awaiting our gaze. I once knew Priya, an elder whose voice had woven tales of wonder. As years sharpened her edges, her words turned bitter, she mourned the chatter of children, the swiftness of days. Her family drifted, their ears weary of her endless dirge. One dawn, beside a river's hymn, I asked, Priya, what do you cherish today? She stilled, then traced the water's shimmer with her eyes and smiled, a flicker of dawn in her dusk. From that moment, she hunted one treasure each day, the sun's caress, a shared laugh, a breath's quiet gift. Her light returned, soft as a lotus unfurling at twilight. I've walked this shadowed path myself. Complaints once piled like stones upon my chest, each word a weight I forged in my own heart. But gratitude lifted them, one by one, revealing the sky beyond the mist. The Buddha urged us to see what is not what's lost. Suffering isn't the rain, but the refusal to dance beneath it. Grumbling crafts walls of stone, gratitude swings wide the gates of peace. The fourth habit dims us not by what falls upon us, but by the lens we choose, darkness or light. Begin small, name 3 gifts each morning: the air's embrace, a friend's voice, a petal's fall. Feel your heart rise like a kite on the wind. Try this now, take a breath, look around, what stirs your thanks? I've seen it, a single grateful thought can shift a day from gray to gold. For when we turn from shadow to joy, we bloom where we stand. Suffering isn't the world's doing, it's the blindness we can unlearn, the light we can reclaim with every mindful glance. Try writing 3 things you're grateful for today right now and share one below. A smile, a sound. Let's light each other up, one small flame at a time. What steals your peace? Name it below, and together, let's trade it for grace. For every stone of complaint we drop, a flower of gladness takes root in its place. 5. Slouching through life, the posture of presence. Beneath the Bodhi tree, the Buddha sat as a pillar of awareness, his spine a quiet hymn to presence. Posture is not pride, it's mindfulness woven into flesh. Then Han Nyem, the practice of body awareness, teaches us that each step is a verse of scripture, each stanza meditation. Slouching dims our light, a silent surrender to time we need not give. I recall Tenzin, a farmer whose back once stood like bamboo, firm against the winds of his fields. In youth, he strode with the vigor of the earth itself, his shadow tall as the harvest sun. But age crept in, bending him like a reed under rain. His steps shrank, his gaze fell to the dust. He once confessed to me, "The years have stolen my strength, I'm but a husk now." One day, as we walked a windswept hill, I said, "Tenzin, lift your eyes, the sky still sings." A sudden gust caught his cloak, urging him upright, and he straightened, chest rising as if the earth itself pushed back. In that moment, he heard it, not the wind, but a call from within, a whisper of power he'd thought lost. His eyes gleamed, and his presence swelled, a silent force reborn. "The sky never stopped," he murmured, "I did." In my decades of practice, I've seen posture mirror the soul's song. A bent spine hums doubt, a quiet plea to fade, a tall one chants courage, a vow to stand in the now. Then Han Nyem reminds us, the body is no mere vessel, it's a living prayer. When we slouch, we muffle that prayer. When we rise, we let it ring. The fifth habit hides in how you carry yourself. Can you feel it tugging at your roots? Stand firm, step with intent, not for the world's applause, but for the promise you make to this fleeting breath. Try this: lift your chest, root your feet to the ground, feel the earth hold you, the sky pull you. Your light doesn't just flicker, it blazes brighter, a flame time cannot quench. Today, stand tall for 1 minute right where you are. Let your spine be a pillar, your breath a chant. How does it shift your day? Does the world feel wider, your heart lighter? Share that feeling below. I want to know what stirs when you rise. For when we align the body with mindfulness, we don't just stand, we awaken, step by step, to the presence we've always held. 6. Ignoring the body's voice, the scent of neglect. In Buddhism, purity is a gift we offer ourselves, a sacred thread binding body to spirit. Tan Tien, purity, isn't merely a clean form, it's the soul breathing freely within the temple of its own being. The body whispers through breath and scent, ignore it, and we dim our tether to life itself. I knew old Chen, a man whose wit once drew laughter like moths to a flame, his voice a spark that warmed the coldest nights. But as age crept in, his breath turned stale, his robes bore the musk of neglect, and friends faded like shadows at noon. His daughter, eyes brimming, pleaded, "Father, tend to yourself, we miss your spark." Chen shrugged at first, muttering, "What's a bath to an old man's jest?" Yet one day, he relented, bathed in the river, sipped cool water, and let the breeze rinse his weariness. Joy returned with his chuckle, but the surprise came later. He hadn't expected that a fresh breath would pull the village's smiles back to him. "I thought they left for my silence," he laughed, "not my scent." From then, his presence glowed anew, a lantern rekindled. To me, hygiene is reverence, a bow to the temple we inhabit. Tan Tien lifts us beyond the surface, it's the act of hearing the body's quiet call, of letting the spirit dance unburdened. Brush your teeth, and it's not just cleanliness, it's a prayer. Wear fresh robes, and it's not for eyes, it's for freedom. Heed your breath, and you honor the life pulsing within. When we ignore these whispers, we don't just dull our shell, we mute the light that longs to shine. The sixth habit isn't what you smell, it's the vitality you've stopped sensing. Try this. Take a deep breath right now, slowly, fully. Can you feel the light stirring inside, a warmth rising from your core? I've seen it. A single mindful rinse, a moment of care, can shift the air around you. Chen learned this: purity isn't vanity, it's the soul's sigh of relief, a return to the temple's grace. What restores you? A splash of water, a crisp garment, a sip that clears the haze. Your body knows, it's been whispering all along. Today, pause and listen. What does your body ask? Cleanse it, clothe it, breathe with it, and watch your light flare brighter. Share below what refreshes you most: a scent, a ritual, a moment. Let's uncover these whispers together. For when we tend to this vessel, we don't just wash away dust, we free the spirit to soar, pure and unbound, within the sanctuary it calls home. Here we stand, dear friends, at the edge of our journey. 6 quiet traps unshaded, 6 keys turned in the locks of your soul. From the tender care of your being to the gentle hum of your words, the freedom of fresh robes, the lift of gratitude, the strength of presence, and the purity of your breath, we've uncovered how mindfulness dissolves the shadows. The Buddha's wisdom echoes through. These traps don't bind us, they beckon us to rise, unshaded, like a lotus piercing the dark. But pause and wonder, what if one small shift, lifting your gaze, softening your voice, could unshackle a light you've carried all along? This isn't the end, but a beginning, a call to step free into your days. This video brims with secrets, and if you've stayed to unlock them all, you hold the full map. My deepest thanks for that gift. If this has lit a spark, please tap that like button, it's a flame that keeps Stillness Unfolded burning bright. Subscribe if you're with us, and join this circle of souls seeking stillness. Your voice shapes this path. Share a comment below. Which trap will you escape today? What light will you set free? Your words inspire us to craft more, to bring peace to more hearts. Take a moment now, feel the stillness settle, the shade lift. That's your soul, unshackled, ready to shine. Thank you for walking this with me on Stillness Unfolded. Until our next unfolding, may your light pierce every shadow, your presence bloom in every breath.